These are my top recommended walking shoes from every brand we've tested so far in 2026. So over 52 shoes so far, and I found it really hard to break it down to just 1 or 2 shoes from each brand. But let's get stuck into it. So first up we have New Balance. Now I've chosen the New Balance Ellipse, which is the brand new shoe to the New Balance range this year. It has a nice rocker bottom, balanced cushioning, so it's perfect for walking all day long, and the walker facilitates a nice push-through motion. It's got plenty of space in the toe box and a very breathable upper, so an excellent option at a cheaper price point than most premium shoes on the market. Now a noticeable mention goes to the 880 V15, which is one of the most underrated shoes on the market. Now it's got a nice firm cushioning, so a little bit more stable underfoot than the Ellipse, and it comes in a wide version as well. It's slightly higher price point, but it's perfect for those of you who want a bit more of a stable neutral shoe, whereas the Ellipse is a more classic neutral shoe only. Then we move on to Nike, we've got the Structure 26. Now this is an excellent option for those of you who need stability on the inside and outside of the shoe. So those of you who supinate, you're going to get an extra bit of support on the outside thanks to their support system. You've actually got less cushioning than what you think, and therefore you get a really good ground contact feel. That's actually quite refreshing in a modern age where most shoes are max cushion and every brand is making each shoe have a more cushioning underneath your foot. So a really good ground contact feel, good space in the toe box, and just an excellent modern stability shoe. Now if you want a bit more cushioning under your foot in the Nike range, you might look towards the Nike Structure Plus. It is a great option as well, and we have a comparison of the two shoes which you can check out here. Then we move on to a lesser known brand, which is the Altra. But it has the Altra Experience Flow 3, which is one of my top shoes of 2026. Now it's a shoe that I can't recommend enough, and you'll know that if you watch the channel regularly. It's got one of the best toe boxes on the market, which allow your toes to splay, but it's narrow in the midfoot and the heel. And that's relatively rare because often you get a wide shoe and your foot is swimming within the shoe and you just need a wide toe box only. Underneath you've got the P35 cushioning, which is actually really balanced, really plush underfoot, and again it's not a max cushion shoe, so you've got good ground contact feel, but the cushioning is plush enough that it feels really comfortable whether you're walking to the shops or you're going out for a really long walk. Then a noticeable mention goes to the Altra Forward Via 2. Now it is one of the best shoes on the market if you're looking for a max cushion, wide fitting shoe. In my opinion, it's actually better than the Hoka Bondi 9, but it just doesn't get the same amount of credit. So really plush cushioning underneath your foot, but a broad platform, and a really wide fit from the heel all the way up to the toe box. And it is actually one of the widest fitting shoes on the market in their normal sizing. So it's worth checking out if you haven't heard of it before. I'll pop a link in the description below. Then moving on to Asics, it's really hard to look past the Nimbus 28. They made an amazing upgrade on this compared to the 27. The cushioning is the same type, the FF Blast Plus, but the blend is completely different. So it's much more stable underfoot, so you don't sink into it as much, but it's much more bouncy and responsive. So if you're someone who likes to walk at a quicker pace, or you like a bit of a bounce or a snap to your walk, this is really hard to look past. It's got quite an aggressive forefoot rocker, so those of you with sensitivity in the ball of the foot, it may not be ideal, but for the majority of the population, you should just enjoy that rolling through motion that you get with the Nimbus. It's got loads of rubber grip underneath your foot, and the Asics grip gives you terrific traction on wetter surfaces. The fit on top is a regular fit, but it comes in a wide version for those of you who need it, and the plush cushioning around the heel means you get all day comfort and a great lockdown. Now a noticeable mention goes to the Asics Trabuco 14. So those of you who need a road to trail option, this is one of the best trail options I've seen this year. And we review all trail shoes on our trail channel if you want to check it out, but the Trabuco 14 gives you the best fitting toe box I've come across of any Asics shoe. It's got terrific cushioning underneath your foot and excellent traction whether you're going on gravel, mud, forest paths. That's definitely worth checking out. Then when we move on to Saucony, the Hurricane 25 is really hard to look past for me. It has a perfect blend of bouncy cushioning but elements of support. Now it's one of the few shoes on the market with a medial wedge. That's where it tilts your foot outward slightly. Not ideal if you have a history of lateral ankle sprains, but if you have a history of pronation control issues, pain in the arch of your foot, this does an excellent job at reducing the amount of pressure and force required on the inside of the foot. Not only that, it's got a terrific geometry with a little gentle rocker forward, lots of space in the toe box, comes in with a wide version as well, and always at a good price point. Then we move on to Brooks. And again, if you watch the channel regularly, it's very hard to look past the Brooks Ghost Max 3. It's got a really wide platform, the cushion is much firmer than what you'd expect because it's a max cushion shoe, so it's quite stable underneath your foot. It's one of the most orthotic friendly shoes on the market, so if you do a mixture of standing and walking, it's hard to look past this one. The fit on top is wide throughout the whole shoe, so maybe not ideal for those of you with a narrow foot, and you might look towards the Glycerin 23. Now this is a perfect option if you want a plush feel underneath your foot, so you sink into it a little bit, but it gives you that nice luxurious feeling all day from the start to the end. Now it's not as wide on top of the shoe, but it does come in a wide version, a bit more plush and premium feel on top of the shoe, and it's got a nice gentle rocker for those of you going for longer walks. So it is the perfect option if you want a softer premium feel underneath your foot. If you want a firm reliable feel, the Ghost Max 3. Then moving on to Hoka, I love the Hoka Gaviota 6. There's a few things that really make this one of the perfect stability shoes on the market, and that's the H frame, which provides more modern type of stability, keeping you centered in the shoe as you move. Not only that, the cushioning is much firmer than it looks, so you get all that protection but nice stability on top of the shoe. It's got one of the best fitting toe boxes of all the Hoka ranges, and while it's not as wide as the Gaviota 5, it's still wider than every other Hoka shoe. It's got a snug fit on the midfoot and the heel, but it does come in a wide version for those of you with a generally broader foot or a higher instep. So it's an excellent option for those of you with supination needs or pronation needs, as it just focuses on keeping you centered all the way through the gait cycle. Then a noticeable mention goes to the Transport 2, which is Hoka's only dedicated walking shoe. Now the original Transport was a lot better in my opinion, but this is a good option if you want a rocker bottom shoe. It has some lugs to give you extra traction on wetter surfaces or on some forest paths. It has a very durable upper, a toe guard to give you extra durability, and a nice quick lace system. My biggest issue with the Transport 2 is the fit on top. It's too narrow, too tapered in the toe box. Even though it comes in a wide version, it's still very tapered. So there you have it. That's my top list from every brand. Let me know what you think. Is there any that you change? Any that you think I should have added? Let me know your favorites in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. If there's any that I haven't added, I'd love to buy them and check them out. As always, I buy every shoe personally, so they're all honest recommendations. And if you want to check out the latest prices on them, they're linked in the description below. And finally, thank you very much for watching.